Continue to tell the story about basic massing with our beloved 100-foot cube. So to recall some things, remember if we tab through our cube. Oh, sorry, I'm not in the mass editor yet. I'm going to go to Edit in Place, and now I'm within the mass and I'm manipulating the form. If I tab through to find a segment, delete that segment. I've done some destructive editing. I can find another segment, delete that, and re-stretch the whole darn thing back up to 100 feet. There may be some residual baggage we don't know about with those kinds of operations, but only time will tell. What I want to do with this is show you some new ways to manipulate. Before we looked at things like that and things like that, which will give you warped forms and other kinds of forms. Here's another thing you can do. You can grab a piece of the form and rotate it. So I'll rotate this by 45 degrees. And see I've sort of created a twisted shape, which I can, oh, by the way, I've been working at this in 3D. I can also come into an elevational view and begin to stretch the thing up in space, and that you have to be careful of, because if you usually when you try to select the top of an object with a flat top, you'll grab a segment instead of the top itself. So I will sometimes actually do a split screen so I can kind of see what's going on, and grab the top. If I click the blue bar at the top of an elevation, I'll get my shape handle. It allows me to stretch it up in space. These twisty forms are kind of weird, and I've dealt with this in another tutorial, but I'll do it again here. When you grab the any face of the shape, you get an option to either add edge or add profile. And you see on this little logo, it's kind of obvious what they do. Adding a profile will add a profile that's sort of transverse to the axis of the extrusion, and that becomes something that you can use to manipulate the shape. In this case I went a little too far and it kind of choked on it. If you want to see the bones of this, by the way, you can click on the shape and click X-ray, and if I tab I can delete that new profile that I made. The one I really want to show you that helps with these twisted shapes is add edge. Now add edge will sort of create an edge that appears to be the same distance from the two segments that you're closest to. You see it's sort of along the 1/3 point or 2/3 points, etc. Here, what you can do with this is actually facet a twisted shape. So I can come in and kind of do the same operation to each one of these guys. I'm going to go around to the other side using my view cube. Click on a face, add edge, and one more time. It kind of cancels out, which is a drag, but do it one more time. And I've got this. So that sort of allows you to create flat planes when you have warped surfaces, and then you can still. I'm not actually quite sure what would happen if we unrotated this, but let's try it. I'll rotate, and in this case I'll go -45. Well, that's interesting. It looks like it keeps those edges, so they're not temporary. They're there until you tell it to get rid of them. And just out of curiosity, I'd like to see what happens if I come back in and I start to destroy some of my original corners of this extrusion. Somehow I think I'm going to end up with the same shape we got when we did the original twist. Yeah, it looks like pretty much it's, well actually it looks like it's I've ended up with a 90-degree twist. Now let's see if we can untwist it. -90, whoops, too much. Escape out of that, try it again. Rotate, maybe I should have done 90 degrees. Yep, that was it. So we're back to an extrusion. There's the mystery and amazing weirdness of Revit 2010.